The bunker business is currently on double money, so today I'm going to share with you how you could make up to $3 million as a solo player with it in GTA Online. Now, of course, the first thing to do is to pick up a bunker, and there are quite a few in the game, but there are a couple that are by far the best. And those are the ones that are closest to Los Santos, and that is because a lot of the cell missions will have you go to Los Santos. So, in my opinion, the best bunker is the farmhouse bunker, as it is closest to Los Santos. It is right next to the highways, which are great for transportation, and it's going to be fairly close to the rest of your businesses up here in Blaine County. Any one of these three as well are decent, and if you're on a budget, the Chumash bunker would be a great option, but it isn't as good as these bunkers over here. As you can see, they're all on discount, so if you can't take the time to get enough money to buy the farmhouse bunker, I definitely would. So now that we have our bunker, we're now going to talk about how to make money with the business. So you're going to have to head over here to the laptop. This is the main way to make money with the bunker. We head into it, and if we go over here to resupply and sell stock, this is how this bunker works. So the way it works is you either purchase or steal supplies. Over time, those supplies get turned into product, which you could sell for a profit. Now, in order to make the most amount of money with the business, you're also going to have to go over here and get the equipment upgrade and the staff upgrade. But as you can see, they're also on discount this week. Once you have both, you could then purchase supplies for $75,000, as it will be a huge time saver and make the money making process a lot easier. So if you buy supplies for $75,000 with the equipment and staff upgrade, it will take 2 hours and 20 minutes to get 1/5 of the stock bar filled. And that amount of stock will be able to be sold to Los Santos for $420,000. That means that in 2 hours and 20 minutes, you're going to be netting a couple $100,000 profit. Now, the best part of the business is that in order for the supplies to turn into stock, all you have to do is be in an online session. Just so long as you're in the session, the workers here at the bunker will turn those supplies into product, which we could sell for a profit. Now, when it comes to sell missions, if you want to keep them as easy as possible, make sure to always sell after one resupply for $420,000. Because that way you're going to be guaranteed one sell vehicle. If you sell the bunker stock when it's roughly halfway full, you're going to get up to 2 vehicles. When you sell it roughly 3/4 way full, you'll get up to 3 vehicles. And if you sell the full bunker, you could get up to 4 sell vehicles. Now, as a solo player, those sell missions are not possible, but there are quite a few that we could do as a solo player, which I will show you here today. Now, as I said, it took me 5 resupplies to get full stock in the bunker. And that does mean it's going to take roughly 12 hours in-game for that stock to build up. So the easiest way to go about it, I find, is instead of playing an active 12 hours, I just go AFK. Now, there are a couple ways to go AFK in the game, but there is one way that I find to be the best. If you have an apartment building where you have 2 or more units in it, walk up to the front door, and when you get to the screen where you have to choose which apartment to go into, you could leave it there, and the game will think that you're still in the game playing the game, when in reality you could walk away. All you have to do is plug in your controller, leave it there, and leave the game running, and the entire time it will think you are playing the game, which means the entire time the stock in your bunker will be producing. So to get the stock level, I went AFK for a total of 12 hours. I just made sure to come back and resupply it every 2 hours and 20 minutes. But with all that being said, let's head over here to sell stock. We're going to sell the stock for $2.1 million, but in order to make even more money and in order to hit that $3 million mark, we're going to have to sell in a public lobby with 25 or more people, because that will get us a 50% high demand bonus. Okay, so I finally found a public lobby. We have 29 people. Okay, English Dave, not the time. We have 29 people in it. And selling in a public lobby can be a bit daunting, but there are a couple things I would do in order to make sure it's safe and you can complete everything fairly easily. So the first thing to do is to look around the map and see what is going on. If you see a lot of people with oppressors flying around, if you see a lot of people with Raijus or fighter jets killing each other, that is usually not a good lobby. I would load into a new one and try your luck there. But as you can see, this lobby looks like it's fairly good. We also know that we don't have any hackers or cheaters, as nobody is level like 8,000 or 7,000, so we are in the clear there. So I'm going to try to sell my stock here. So we're going to go to sell to Los Santos. It is going to be a large sale, we know that, but checking the lobby is only the first thing when selling in a public lobby. The next thing we have to do is make sure we don't have a crazy sell mission. And as you can see here, we have the sell mission where we're going to have 4 doom buggies, and we have 20 deliveries. We're not going to be able to do this as a solo player in 15 minutes, so instead I'm going to have to load into a new lobby and restart the mission. Now, it will lose us some stock, but it won't be too much. So as you can see, I lost $63,000, but that's not the end of the world. we're going to get right back into another sell mission. Now, the sell missions we are looking for are going to be ones where we only have a couple drop-offs. So it's either going to be a Phantom Wedge, like we have here, or a couple Insurgents. We actually got, though, the best mission out of all of them. It is going to be the 2 Phantom Wedge. Now, you'll also notice that I'm doing the sell mission at night. That is another tactic I like to use when selling in a public lobby, because it just makes it harder for people to see you and try to grief you. So now all we have to do is drop off the 2 Phantom Wedges down at the bottom of Los Santos, and we'll be done the mission. But as you can see, because we're in a public lobby, there is a chance of being griefed. So another safety precaution we could use is to go over to our CEO abilities. That's the wrong one. There you go. Go down to Ghost Organization, and we're going to use Ghost Organization to go off the radar for up to 3 minutes. Now, you don't have to use it right away, but I like to use it right away because people will then only realize that I'm doing my sell mission when I'm halfway through it, and therefore I'll likely be able to complete the rest of it without being bothered. Now, if you get the Phantom Wedge mission, you will have a bunch of cops coming at you, but don't worry about losing them or anything like that. Plow through them all. You'll be able to complete the mission even with the cops on you. Okay, that's a bit of an ominous message I just got. All right. I don't like the look of that. Okay, so we're finally here at the drop-off. I'm just going to leave the Phantom Wedge here. We're going to have to go through this little cutscene. And then after that, I'm going to call up my Sparrow, fly back to the farmhouse bunker, and then pick up the second Phantom Wedge. Okay, here we are at the second Phantom Wedge. We're going to pick it up, and then hopefully we could get it down to the bottom of the map without being griefed. And here we are. This is the second delivery. We actually completed it in an online session. It could sometimes be a little bit nerve-wracking if you're completing the mission and you find people start attacking you, especially if you haven't delivered the first of the multiple different vehicles or whatever the drop-offs are. I would just load into a new invite-only session and then load back into a new public lobby. People will try to grief you and you don't want to lose all your stock. But as you can see, we completed the mission successfully. We got everything done. Over $3 million as a solo player. So to wrap this up and to summarize it all, it cost $375,000 worth of supplies and 12 hours worth of time being AFK in order to get that much money, and then we just made $3 million all in one go. So now is a great time to take advantage of this money bonus this week, especially considering the bunkers are on discount as well. So I hope this video helped. If it did, please drop a like. If you're a new, subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Peace.